strange to be here in Vagen. After months of roaming from east to west on a motorbike, after taking odd jobs here and there to build up a little nest egg to finance this trip, and to be able to stay in this guest house for a time. Lucky Frau Wagner let me in despite my appearance when I arrived, with my meager means. The days when Marson and Lormont paid for my travel expenses seems far away now. It's like they were someone else's memories, fading away with passing time. Guess I've changed. Since the death of Mom and Katyusha, pursuing my hypothetical double on the painting turned out to be too tempting. Comforting, even. In any case, I promised Katyusha I would find her.
I think that's Frau Wagner's room. I understand why Wagners call their town the heart of Europe. It's literally in the center of it. Wagen is surrounded by the Alps. Switzerland is right on the other side. That's Germany over there. I wonder how far Barockstadt University is from here.
That's not my room. Better not go in.
Oh, hi, dear.
It's busy. There's no point drumming on the blasted door. I'm on the telephone.
So, Miss Walker, were the documents of any help to you?
Yes, I was even able to locate the shop I'm looking for. Thank you so much, Frau Wagner.
Good. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
Things seem to be quiet today.
Oh, there's never many guests at this time of year.
Actually, is she a guest too?
Oh, yes. She arrived earlier. An elderly English lady. A former military officer, if I understood correctly. They say she's come on some rather unpleasant business. A burial, from what I can gather. Yes, Miss Walker. And she hasn't let go of the telephone since she got here.
I'd love to know more about you, Frau Wagner.
Oh, there's not much to tell, really. At least, nothing that would change the course of history.
But I'm sure you've had an eventful life, haven't you?
Well, I was born just after the war in Wagen, and I've never left. I opened this place and ran it with my husband until he died a few years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You see, nothing to write home about. Then again, we were never ones for excitement, really. But we were happy, my husband and I.
The room's just perfect. Thank you so much.
There's no need to thank me, Miss Walker. It's my job to make sure my guests are comfortable. And it's not every day we get a young American lady on a motorbike in the middle of the night looking for a mysterious shop. It makes me feel like I'm in a detective novel.
I have a few questions about Wagen.
Good, because if you'd asked me about the latest scientific discovery, I'd have to say pass. But if it's about Wagen, then you've come to the right person, my dear.
What is it I should know?
For one, Wagen is very old, renowned for its charm and culture. As for the surrounding area, it attracts mountain lovers mostly, it being so near to the Swiss Alps, of course. The banks of the Dombra, the longest river in the country, are the delight of summer vacationers.
Apparently the shop I'm looking for is located in Vaughan's Antiques District. Could you tell me how to get there from the guest house?
Your best bet is to take the tram, miss. The town centre is almost entirely pedestrian, and your motorbike won't be of any use there. You'll find the nearest tram stop at the top of the stairs, to your right as you go out of the guest house.
My, quest here is closely linked to the region of Vaughan. Could you tell me a little bit about its history?
I'd be glad to.
The woman I'm looking for must have been about 18 in 1937. Was this an important date in the history of Vaughan?
Not that I know of, no. But I'm not much of a historian, and I wasn't even born then. All I know is that the Troubles came the following years, with the Second World War. So that year must have been a boom year for fascist ideology, when the Brown Shadow was still just another party vying for power by preaching hate.
I found out about the woman I'm looking for thanks to a painting that must have been pillaged by the Brown Shadow during World War II.
Doesn't surprise me. Vaughan, and by extension all of Ostertal, was annexed and occupied by the fascists just before the war. They sacked, stole and pillaged everything they could, just like they did in the rest of occupied Europe.
Nothing else comes to mind for the moment. Thank you for your time.
Well, feel free to come back and ask if you have any more questions.
There's a tramway map at the end of the street next to the station. It should tell me how to get to the Antiques District.
Have a nice day, Miss Walker.
The Dombre Guest House. According to what I've read, the Dombre is the longest river in Ostertal and runs through Vaughan. Pity Vaughan is practically all pedestrian. After all those months on the road, I've gotten kind of fond of that old bike. Going by what Frau Wagner told me when I first arrived, this used to be a working-class district. Nowadays, I bet everyone wants to snap up these old houses, just like in Brooklyn. This district is just so beautiful. Must be the botanical gardens. Too bad it's closed.
Well, the guest house in that neighborhood sure are the best things to happen to me since... who knows. But I should go and take the tram now.
Ah, there's the famous Vaughan tramway. I'd better take a look at the map to see which line to take for the antiques district.
Have you heard what the Thor uncovered up in the mountain?
At Devil's Pass, you mean? I did hear something of it before coming out. What's the latest then?
They reckon they found remains dating back to World War II, when Alpine resistance networks led refugees across into Switzerland. Nasty times were those.
Yes, not the best times in our history, were they?
Typical of the town, judging from what I've seen so far of the architecture here. An antique shop, but not the one I'm looking for.
Miller's? Oh, straight ahead, Fraulein. You can't miss it. Miller's is just over on the corner. Although I think old Miller must be in the middle of stock taking at the moment.
No, that isn't the antique shop I'm looking for.
Müller und Söhne? It's just over there, on the next corner. You can't miss it, Fräulein. Müller und Söhne? It's just over there, on the next corner.
Feels like I've completely lost my appetite since the mines. And yet, Vagen is famous the world over for its cakes. Can't be this way. Müller und Söhne. Mother and son. This must be the place. I thought as much. So, Hans was here in Vagen after all. That hallmark on that sphere proves it. Wonder what that automaton was used for. I have to get a closer look. Well, that is if someone lets me in. Inventory day. Ring 3 times for urgent matters. That reminds me of the Souk of the Ukels. I really miss not traveling with them sometimes. Must be nice to live here, in the heart of the district and yet away from prying eyes, like in another world. Even Simon Steiner wouldn't have done any better. I hope he and his granddaughter are okay.
What an authentic district. Brings up memories, too. But I should focus on the Muller shop now.
Can't leave now.
You rang?
Yes. Sorry to bother you. Hello. I mean, guten Tag. Herr Müller?
Guten Tag, Fräulein. I am stock-taking, if you will.
Oh, sorry to disturb you, but if you don't mind, I'd like to show you a painting.
A painting?
Yes, of someone I'm looking for. A girl who apparently looked like me.
Well, I'm rather busy. But all right. Show me.
You see? It has the name of your shop on it.
Yes, the label certainly comes from here. It's very old, though.
It's the only clue I have as to the whereabouts of the girl.
I see.
My guess is, whoever owned the painting must have been a client of the shop before the painting was stolen by the Brown Shadow during the Second World War.
That's all very possible. That was when the shop sold materials for artists. As you can see, we don't sell that type of article anymore. Do you mind if I take a look?
Be my guest. I've been told I look like the model in the painting. A slight exaggeration, no doubt. But is there any chance that you know who she could have been?
There's no exaggeration, Fräulein. Indeed, she does look like you. But I'm sorry, I've never seen her before.
Do you know anything about the artist?
Well, I'd say the style is close to the naturalist school, which makes sense given the date on it. The signature is very faint. From what I can make of it... No, the name doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, Fräulein.
How could the case have come from your shop?
Going by the date, the painting must have been done in my grandfather's day. Back then, the shop sold materials for art, and this type of case would have been used to protect a painting. Or to carry documents, a manuscript, or even sheet music. Apart from that, there's not much else I can tell you.
Pity. You were my last hope.
I can tell you where it was painted, though, if it's any help.
Oh?
Yes, I'm certain. That's the refuge at the Silberspiegel. You can make out the mountain circus in the background. It overlooks Wagen and leads to the Swiss border.
Right.
You can get there by the tramway. Just head southeast and get off at the end of the line.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Mind you, there's quite a hike from the station to the refuge.
Oh, I'll manage.
Anything else, Fräulein?
Actually, there is. I noticed an object in your window there. A strange metal sphere which might work with an automaton mechanical heart I have.
Yes, it's an authentic Vorarlberg.
Do you mind if I try it?
No, not at all. Let me get it for you.